Dear friends, I hope this message finds you well. It is incredible and overwhelming to think that in just a little bit, we will be Zochem Yetz Hashem to enter into the Yom Tiv of Yom Kippur. And Yom Kippur brings with it, I think, understandably so many differing emotions. On one hand, there's a certain feeling of anxiety, maybe fear, trepidation. We know how much is being decided. We know that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is sealing the fate of all humanity. And although we have the power of tshuva to be able to alter that din, to be able to alter that judgment, but judgment in and of itself is understandably so somewhat fearful or fear-provoking, anxiety-provoking, and especially coming off the year that we just had, an overwhelming year, a year of loss, a year of heartbreak, a year of incredible bracha, but yet a year of incredible adversity for our people. And now spilling over into the new year, Am Yisrael is still fighting wars on two different fronts. Our precious soldiers defending us, defending Klal Yisrael, no matter where we may live. Our hostages still in captivity. There's a lot that's happening on this day. And we know that there is a lot that is being decided on this day. And so Yom Kippur, understandably so, creates these feelings of anxiety, of fear, of trepidation. On the other hand, Yom Kippur brings with it an incredible wave of joy. We say the bracha. How do we usher in? By after Kol Midrei, Shechianu v'kiyimanu v'gianu lazman hazeh. We say the bracha of Shechina for Yom Kippur. Why? Because as the Torah tells us, Ki b'yom hazeh yichaper aleichem l'tar eschem mikol chatoseichem. Because Yom Kippur is a day of kapara, a day of tara, a day where HaKadosh Baruch Hu removes our averos. He removes our onshim, the punishments for our sins. He removes the tuma, any type of impurity that has accumulated over our neshamas over the course of the year. Yom Kippur is a day of new beginnings. Yom Kippur is a day of wiping the slate clean. Yom Kippur is a day of the tabla rasa, the blank slate, a day in which we could choose to become whoever and whatever we want. And the great tzaddik, Rav Levi Yitzchak Berditch of Zechusa Yagin, asked such a fascinating question. The Rebbe says, one of the concluding brachas in Shemona Esrei is we say, Baruch Atah Hashem, Mochel v'Salech. We say that Hashem is the one who forgives. Now, although Mechila and Slicha mean a little bit different things, but for now, we'll just go with forgiveness. Blessed are you, Hashem, or Hashem, you are the source of all blessing, the one who forgives. Asks the Rebbe something absolutely amazing. He says, how can we make that bracha? After all, again, he says, Mehechan anu betuchim, ki Hashem yisbarach mochel anu be'emes, v'chi ein zo chalila bracha levatala. Asks the Heilig God of Levi Yitzchak, the Heilig God of how can you say a bracha like that? How can you say, Baruch Atah Hashem mochel v'slech, Hashem, you are the one who forgives? Who says Hashem is going to forgive us? Who says? Forgiveness has to be earned. Forgiveness has to be deserved. So who says that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to forgive me? And if Chas v'Shalom the Ribbon Shalom doesn't forgive me, if he doesn't forgive me, then I've just made a bracha levatala. I've just made a bracha in vain, an unnecessary bracha. Using the name of God for no reason is a very serious transgression. So on Yom Kippur, the last thing I want to do is make a bracha levatala. The last thing I want to do is make a bracha in vain. So what's going on over here? Ask again. You hear the shaila. The Heilig Abeditchiva says, "How can I be making this bracha if I don't know for sure that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to forgive me?" And the Rebbe says something so beautiful. He says, a young child, right? A young child. Say in his example, it's interesting. He says, "Kach noig nar chacham kishurotze sha'aba shelo yiten lo tapuach." So in the Rebbe's example, he says that there's a young child who wants an apple, right? So we could maybe modify this. A young child who wants a cookie. And what happens? So the child wants a cookie really badly, but he knows maybe he's had 10 cookies or no cookies, but he knows there's just this feeling that his father is going to say no. So if the boy is a smart boy, so what does he do? So this is incredible. Rebbe says, what does he do? He goes over to the cookie jar. He opens it up, and in earshot of his father, he says, Baruch atah Hashem Elokeinu melech olam borei minei mezonos. So now, what's going to happen? The father's not going to want his son to make a bracha levatala. He's not going to want his son to make a bracha in vain. So the son's going to say, Baruch atah Hashem Elokeinu melech olam borei minei mezonos. He's going to look at his father, motioning to his father. And of course, what's going to happen? Of course, the father's going to tell him, okay, take a bite of the cookie. Because the father doesn't want the son's bracha to be levatala. The father doesn't want the son's bracha to be in vain. What an ingenious child. So says the Rebbe, says the Heilig Berditchever, this is exactly what we do. This is exactly what we do on Yom Kippur. We make the bracha, Baruch Atah Hashem, Mochel v'Soleach. You're Ribbon Shalom, the one who forgives. And then we say, Ribbon Shalom, You can't allow this to be a bracha levatala. You can't, God forbid, allow this to be a bracha in vain. I already made the bracha. Just like the child who already made the mazonos. No. Father's going to say, okay, take tatla, shefala, take a bite of the cookie. What are you going to do? You already made the bracha. Ribono Shalom, I've already made the bracha. I've already made the bracha. I've said already, Baruch Atah Hashem, I've used your name, and I've said that you are the one who forgives. Ribono Shalom, now it's up to you to ensure that it is not a bracha levatala, that it is not a bracha for naught, for no reason, or it's not the taking of your divine name in vain. I've made the bracha. I went over to the cookie jar. Yes, the boy who goes over to the cookie jar backs his father into a corner. Kiviyachal says the Rebbe, I go ahead and I back the Ribono Shel Olam into a corner. I've made the bracha. I said, Baruch Atah Hashem mochel b'soleach. You are the one who forgives. So Kadosh Baruch Hu, give me the cookie. Kadosh Baruch Hu, give me forgiveness, because I've gone ahead and made the bracha already. Umamela kvar hu muchrach lasos es ritzonenu v'limcha lanu. The Ribono Shel Olam Kiviyachal has no choice but to forgive us. Shaharehu lo yehe gorim sheyiladav shelo milyoni Yehudim yumevarchim bracha levatala. Because Kadosh Baruch Hu would never want that millions of Yidden, millions of Jews would make a bracha levatala. And I think what the Rebbe is saying is like this, that we have to go into Yom Kippur with a sense of confidence. We have to believe that we are going to be forgiven. We have to believe that we are going to be given a clean slate. We have to believe that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to give us a beautiful and incredible year. We have to believe it. You see, the child who goes over to the cookie jar and makes that mazonos, see, here's what he knows. He knows that once he makes that bracha, his father's for sure going to give him the cookie. When we come before HaKadosh Baruch Hu, it's almost like Kiviyachal, we have to be 100% sure that He's going to forgive us. Yom Kippur demands confidence. Yom Kippur demands optimism. Yom Kippur is not a Yom Tiv where you equivocate. It's not a Yom Tiv, well, maybe this will happen, maybe that'll happen. I know what's going to happen. I know that I'm going to be inscribed and sealed in the Sefer HaChaim. I know that I'm going to have a good year filled with bracha. This is the confidence that I go into with this day. And I know for Klal Yisrael, I know that it is going to be a year of Besoros Tovos, of beautiful tidings for Klal Yisrael. I know with all of my heart that it is going to be a year where the hostages come home. I know it is going to be a year where our soldiers are successful in eradicating evil wherever it may be. I know that it's going to be a year where HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to take care of all of the children who have been orphaned and all the women who have been widowed. I know it with all of my heart. I'll say, how can you be so confident? Look at the year that we just had. Look at everything that happened to Klal Yisrael, and it doesn't feel like it's ending anytime soon. You don't ask kashas on confidence and optimism, and you certainly don't ask kashas on the ability of the Ribono Shel Olam to turn things around. Our job is to fill our personalistic utensil, to fill ourselves with unbridled and unending sense of hope, optimism, and confidence. Unless you think that this is just a nice pie in the sky, Chazal instituted it as part of Shmona Esrei. We make the bracha using the name of Hashem. We say, Hashem, you are the one who forgives. Who are we talking about in that bracha? Talk about me. I'm saying, Hashem, you are the one who forgives me. How do you know? I know that it's going to be good. I know that it's going to be great. I know that we are going to be successful, that we are going to be victorious. I know it. I know that we will overcome the anti-Semitism in this country, because the truth is, we've outlasted all the anti-Semites. This is not our first rodeo. It just hurts a little bit more now because we thought it was over. We thought it was part of our historical past. And so, in America and other countries, we see it's not. It's part of the present. Fine, got it. Lean into it. It is what it is. It is what it is. But here's the good news. We'll outlive it. We'll outexist it. All of these protesters and all of these things, they will disappear into the sands of time. You know, it's incredibly telling, the fact that in so many of these protests, everybody covers their face, right? They cover their face, they wear the masks, and it's so fitting. They should cover their face, because in a little bit of time, no one's going to remember them. No one's going to know what they look like, who they were, because they don't matter. But we do. But we do. Netzach Yisrael Lo Yishach. We will be here for eternity. Nothing could stamp us out. Nothing could eradicate us. And at the end of the day, nothing could harm the neshama, the nitzchias, the eternality of Klal Yisrael. So yeah, I go into Yom Kippur, and I am bursting with optimism and hope. I can't wait to see what the coming year is going to bring for us. I can't wait to see the beautiful Berachos that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to shower upon Am Yisrael. And I can't wait to see, and I believe with all of my heart, that this is going to be a year of incredible Geula. What level of Geula? What type of Geula? I believe in my heart that it's Mashiach Geula, that it's based on Mikdash Geula. But whatever it is, whatever HaKadosh Baruch Hu has planned, it's going to be amazing. And it's going to be fantastic. So Yom Kippur, we go over to the proverbial cookie jar. We kind of look around, make sure Abba is listening, and belt out that bracha. Baruch atah Hashem Elokeinu melech haolam borei minei mizonos. Belt out that bracha. Baruch atah Hashem mochel v'soleach. And now, Abba, you have no choice but to give me what I want, to give me the cookie, to give me geula, to give me bracha. Let's go into this Yom Kippur. Yes, on one hand, with some fear and trepidation, because that's by definition what judgment brings. But those feelings are eclipsed and overshadowed by the incredible sense of hope, optimism, and confidence that good times are ahead, that beautiful, holy times are ahead, that Beracha and Hatzlacha and Besoros Tovos and Geula, they're all waiting for us. I wish everyone a Gemar Chasima Tova, and we should all just have a year in which our hostages come home b'karov, our soldiers are successful b'chol ma'aseh yadehem. The Ribono Shalom envelops all of those who have suffered so overwhelmingly this past year, envelop them with love, envelop them with comfort. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu should allow us to feel the beautiful simcha, hope, and optimism of this day. And we should be Zochem Yirtzeh Hashem to experience a year of Geula, a year of Shleimus, and a year of Simcha together, all of us, all of Klal Yisrael this year and for many years to come. Wishing everyone a Gemar Chasima Tova and a good Shabbos.